Hey guys, Travis here with Every Single Sunday, and today's video will be taking an in-depth look at a brand new tire from Tusk. The new tire is called the Recon Hybrid. It's a gummy tire, and it's made to compete with the Shinko 505, Kenda Ibex, and other all-terrain sticky tires. Alright guys, so let's get this thing started. This is our first review. I want to do it right, but I already screwed up with the audio, so the lips aren't going to match. Get over it. So let's dive right in and talk about this brand new tire from Rocky Mountain ATV. The brand is Tusk, which you all know. It's their house brand, and the new tire is called the Recon Hybrid. So in today's comparison, we're going to talk about three very popular tires. The first one I want to talk to you about is this tire right here that I'm handling. This is from Shinko. It's called the 505 Cheater. Shinko's 505 Cheater is very popular because it is a gummy tire, which means it's very, very soft, but it actually gets a very good life due to the large tread blocks and the high surface area. So where most gummies are going to wear out in a very, very fast time, this tire lasts quite a while for what it actually is. The next tire we're going to take a look at here is the one on the far right hand side. This is from Kenda, and it's called the Ibex. Now the Kenda is a little bit different from the two other tires because this is a race bred tire. As you can see, there's much bigger gaps in between the knobs, and the knobs themselves are much smaller. This means this tire is going to work better in a looser terrain, and it's going to wear out much, much quicker. As we move on to our Tusk Recon Hybrid here in the center, you can see that's kind of a mix in between the two different tires, where the Kenda has really big gaps and the Shinko doesn't. This one has lots of gaps and a little bit smaller knob. Having these gaps in between the tread blocks is going to allow you to get more traction. It's going to bite in, it's going to bite on those roots, it's going to bite on those rocks, and it's also going to clear the mud better. When you have a tire like the 505 Shinko, it's not going to be very good in loose terrain, it's not going to be very good in the wet, and when it does get muddy, it's going to pack up. So when I got this tire in, everyone was asking, is it soft, is it hard, how does it compare to the Shinko? The only way to actually get a real answer for you was to measure the durometer and get the shore rating. So I ordered this gauge, and what it does is it measures how soft the rubber is, so I can give you an actual representation of how this tire compares to both the Shinko 505 and to the Kenda Ibex. The Kenda comes in with a shore rating of 16, which is extremely soft. The Shinko 505 is slightly firmer at 18.5, and the Tusk Recon comes in at 25.5, which is quite a bit firmer, but still very, very soft compared to a traditional tire. When it came to mounting the Recon, it went on very easily. On my bike that you see here, I actually have a tubeless system, which I feel is the easiest system to mount, but I also mounted two other tires on my friend's bikes. One had a moose, which is obviously the most difficult, but this tire went on very easily. And then the third bike, we mounted up with a set of ultra heavy duty tubes. So today's test, we're actually able to test the tire with all three systems and let you guys know what works and what doesn't work. So we have three bikes that we're using for the test today. First one is my 2018 KTM 300 XCW running a tubeless system set at 5 PSI. The second bike we're using here is Josh's 2020 Husky TE 300i. He's running mooses in his bike. A moose is basically a foam insert. His are very, very used and very, very soft. Probably equivalent to about 3 to 4 PSI in the back. The final bike in our test is a 2019 KTM 500 EXCF. This is a 4-stroke street legal bike, as a lot of you guys know. And Scott's bike here is running ultra heavy duty tubes set at 12 PSI in the back. Today's test, we are just east of San Diego, out at some friends' property, getting ready to go ride some private trails. The first part of the day started out on this stuff right here, basically some single track with a bunch of rocks, and then worked its way into a nice little creek bed. Through the single track, the Recon works surprisingly well. While we've run the Shinko out here and it slid around quite a bit on anything loose, the Recon actually bit in and worked its way through the loose stuff up over the rocks and provided excellent traction. The next section that we stopped on was this nice steep loose hill climb with a rock in the center. We wanted to see how the tire would track uphill with loose little rocks, loose dirt, and one obstacle right in the center to where we need a little bit of drive to get up and over it. A section like this is a place that the Kenda Ibex will really shine. The big gaps in between the knobs bite into everything, the soft rubber hooks up, and it provides excellent traction while accelerating and braking. While the Recon is not designed specifically to compete with the Ibex as a race tire, but more of a trail tire, it did perform very, very well, but it should be noted that it was a little bit loose when the trail broke up, and that it did not provide the same traction as the Ibex. As we worked our way further into the property, we ended up on these rock slabs. Rock slabs are a great spot to test the compound of the tire and see how it'll hook up. The Tusk Recon performed very well on the rocks. The soft compound bit into everything, it didn't squirm around at all, and it felt very confidence-inspiring. After about 3.5 hours and 20 miles, the tire definitely did show a little bit of wear, but nothing that would be of concern to us. For a soft tire, it's holding up very well at this point. After the fun on the rocks, we headed over to Corral Canyon to play on a trail called Bronco Peak. Bronco Peak is very loose, very rocky, and very, very steep. While a tire like the Shinko 505 would be absolutely miserable in conditions like this, the big blocks and small gaps would not work very well. The Tusk Recon did slightly better, but still struggled due to the small gaps in between the tires, where a Kenda Ibex or a similar tire with big gaps and gummy rubber would hook up much better and plow directly through this stuff. Alright guys, so one thing I want to touch on is the price of this tire. It is only $60 from Rocky Mountain ATV. That's about half the price of most of the tires out there. The Shinko is going to be in the 90s, the Ibex is around 110 or 120 I believe, so for them to make a tire and sell it for half the price is absolutely incredible. So as far as my overall thoughts on this tire, I'm very, very impressed with it. Obviously, I like to run Gummy tires all the time. I burn them up. I know how expensive it can be. So the price of this is pretty shocking, and I hope it gets more people into running Gummy tires. I see so many people out on the trail running things like a Desert IT that is just basically rock hard and offers no performance. You see these people struggling on rocks, on roots, on trees, pretty much everything except going across the desert. So if enduro riding is something you are interested in and you've wanted to get out and try a Gummy tire, but you were scared that you're going to shred it in one ride or that it was too expensive and you just need something that's going to last longer, this is a great tire to try out. Like I said, it's priced at only $60, so it's about half the price of the other stuff. It has a very full tread pattern, meaning there's a lot of surface area. So while the knobs are a little bit smaller, there's a ton of them. So that extra surface area is going to make the tire last a long, long time compared to some of the other tires out there like the Kenda Ibex we talked about. Now obviously if you live up in the Pacific Northwest, back east, somewhere where it's going to be really rainy, really rooty, wet, slimy, nasty stuff, if you are used to running a tire like the Kenda Ibex, something that's really soft and gummy like that, this is definitely going to be a step backwards. But if you are a guy that's been running an AT81 or a Desert IT or a IRC M5B, something like that, this tire is going to work very well for you. So do yourself a favor, jump online or go down to your local shop, order up this tire, a different tire, whatever it is you want to try out. For me, the Kenda Ibex is my favorite, but this tire is going to be something that I run if I'm going on a trip and I need something that's going to last a little bit longer but want good performance. So check it out. It's from Tusk. It's called the Recon Hybrid, and I think it's a great tire and an amazing value. Last but not least, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We do all sorts of cool ride videos. We go in fun places. We do races, trials, enduro, and we just got into the whole product review thing with this video. So make sure to subscribe as it helps us out, and we're always out having fun. Take it easy and have a great day.